Hi, my name is Tammy and I'm a self-proclaimed football-holic and overall sports enthusiast. Can somebody please tell me another place in our daily lives where a high five line would fit in? Welcome to Fan the Flame Sports, a show that highlights the fun of sports, not just the facts. Each week, Fan the Flame will talk about games and players that were on fire and others that didn't even spark our attention. We'll talk about sports reporters and their dumbest questions of the week. And because sports are no fun without friends, Fan the Flame will feature party ideas for that next tailgater or game day get-together, or tell you about great places to watch the game. Games we watched. As I've always said, there are tons of great games on to be watched, but us at Fan the Flame Sports like to highlight just a few in case you might really have a life on Sunday. So here we go. Buffalo at New York Giants. I did pick Eli and the G-Men over the Bills. It was 27-24. This was a very important game for Manning to win. He lives in the shadow of the great Peyton. Now that he isn't in the picture, by Eli stepping up and leading his team to victory over the 4-2 Bills, hopefully he'll avoid not being compared just at all. Eli led the Giants through a great game, and with the help of Ahmad Bradshaw and his career best 3 touchdowns, the Giants got the win. Handing the Bills and Ryan Fitzpatrick their second loss will prove interesting for the second half of the season. I think the honeymoon is really over for the Bills, and it'll be setting in. Not to say that they aren't a great team, but we will have to see how just far momentum will take. Philadelphia at Washington. 2013 Eagles win. My loss on this one because I went with the Redskins. And in the words of NFL Blitz 2000, what a debacle! Redskins quarterback Rex Grossman just 2 weeks ago was getting praises from reporters on NFL Network. Sunday he throws 4 interceptions, and by Monday he's benched. Now you know I am not a big Vic fan, so I'm not going to give the win to him. I'm giving the loss to the Redskins organization. The Redskins have had 26 head coaches in their Washington, D.C. history. Only Joe Gibbs has had more than 1 renewed contract. For you Skins fans, I know you were excited when the organization hired Mike Shanahan. He was going to turn things around. And yet you sit in the same situation. Who's responsible? I begin my search for that answer inside the owner's box of FedEx Field. Houston at Baltimore, 14-29. I chose Ravens for the win and Ray Lewis for the player of the game. Both defenses played well. Ravens had to go to the kicker Kundov for 4 field goals. The Texans kept the Ravens offense out of the end zone. But the star of the defensive show is Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens D held running back Arian Foster to only 49 rushing yards for 15 attempts. And by the way, I'm still voting for Ray Lewis for president. Dallas at New England, 16-20. I did pick the Patriots for this game, but only because they play at home and have a ridiculous winning record at home. But as you can tell by the score, it definitely wasn't a regular Brady bombfest. And even more uncharacteristic was the 2 interceptions Brady suffered in the game. Funny thing is, Cowboys quarterback Romo, he only had 1 interception. Games to watch this week. This week, leading up to Sunday's games, have been a whirlwind of quarterback upheavals. Let's begin with the obvious quarterback change, and that's the Oakland Raiders. Campbell breaks his collarbone and is out for the season. Raiders replace him with the out-of-shape Carson Palmer. There must have been a half-off sale on quarterback somewhere, because I don't get this one. This week it's Kansas City at Oakland. Raider fans, I'd suggest you watch another game. This week it's spare yourself the pain. I pick Kansas City. Washington at Carolina. Not too sure what the reason is for Grossman getting benched and being replaced by Beck. Like I said before, Grossman's name has been on the tongue of sports reporters lately as a good QB. He has had a bad game, and blam, he's riding the pine. Not because I think Beck will be that much of an impact, but because the Redskins' defense is pretty stellar. So I picked Washington in spite of the quarterback dysfunction for the win. Denver at Miami. Okay, I think this quarterback switcheroo is overdue. Kyle Orton has not pleased the Denver sidelines or the fans. Each game you hear chants for Tim Tebow at quarterback. Well, Bronco fans, you get your wish. And honestly, I think it's a good change. Tebow may not be fully developed as a player yet, but he is able to scramble and rush and make something happen. So I picked Denver on this one. Now on to my most favorite quarterback exchange this week. Green Bay at Minnesota is the game. I probably will not pay too much attention to this game because I know the Packers will stuff the Vikings. But I just want to be the first to tell you, McNabb maniacs, I told you so. I am not only on the bus that is taking him to retirement town, but I'm the driver. Christian Ponder will be starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. It's just too bad his first game will be against the Green Bay Packers. Other games to watch this weekend are going to be San Diego at Jets. I picked the Jets for the win, even though the 4-1 Chargers have a better record. The Jets division is much tougher, so they prepare for games a little bit differently. Atlanta at Detroit. I'm going with the 5-1 Lions for the win. Lions is in the toughest division in the NFL, and they are ready to take on everyone. Major League Baseball. Okay, we're in the middle of World Series mode. First game was played last night with the Cardinals winning over the Texas Rangers 3-2. Tonight at 5 p.m. on Fox, Game 2, Texas at St. Louis. Next week, we will have a special guest to give us the big prediction for the winner of the World Series and what will happen in the league's postseason. Sports Reporter's Dumbest Question. Okay, once again, I have found it very difficult to rag on a reporter's dumbest question with the handshake gate going on. And if you don't know about it, then, well, you must have a life. Controversy arose after 49ers first-year head coach Jim Harbaugh celebrated a victory over the Lions by giving Detroit coach Jim Schwartz a hearty handshake and a slap on the back. Schwartz took exception to it, chasing and bumping Harbaugh as the teams headed for the locker rooms. The two had to be separated. This is just stupid. It's like an episode of Bad Girls Club without the slutty outfits. You two coaches need to take a Midol and eat a Snickers. Hot deals on jerseys and fan gear. We're looking for places that have great deals on your favorite sports team's fan gear. Let Fan the Flame Sports know on our Facebook page if you have a great place to shop. Hot deals on where to watch the games. Shared this with you guys last week, got a great response, so I thought it was worth a second mention. It's called Flavor Lounge, 818 Glendora Avenue in Glendora, and so worth the drive. Flavor Lounge is beer, wine, crazy good food, and has NFL Sunday ticket. And like I mentioned last week, wait for it, all-you-can-eat menudo on Sundays from 9 a.m. until it's gone, and it's only $10.99. Bottomless mimosas, $9. Eddie's the owner, super cool guy. The place has a great vibe. Please let him know you heard it on Fan the Flame Sports webcast. You can even post on Flavor Lounge's Facebook page. All right, on to the next segment, which is Everything Brett. This segment is dedicated to my favorite NFL player of all time, Brett Favre. This stat is dedicated to the season's trend of quarterbacks throwing for over 300 plus yards per game. Just a little information, Brett Favre's stat for consecutive seasons with at least 3,000 passing yards, 18 seasons. Tune in next week to hear all about baseball postseason and the prediction of the World Series, soccer, and talk about the St. Pierre Condon fight. Thank you for viewing another webcast of Fan the Flame Sports. Please share our Facebook page with all your friends and family. Go team!